Yeah, hi peeps, it's Tess back on the old Squat Box again, and this is an addendum to American Gun Runners, the NRA. Just face it, if you were to put an armed guard on every school in America, I mean, and probably your high schools and your colleges, well, I mean, I know some of them already have them, but if you would do that with every school in America, every primary school, every middle school, every high school and college, and some of them are large enough that one wouldn't be enough. You'd have to have maybe a little crew, 3 or 4 in some schools, and what's going to happen? They've been there a year, nobody's attacked the school. 2 years, nobody's attacked the school. Are they going to be high on alerts every day? And let's face it, kids can be little pricks, What's going to happen when they've been there a year or two and the kids are going by and giving them the finger and calling them rent-a-cops? What's going to happen when, on a, Halloween weekend, some of the kids throw some fucking firecrackers in the school just to see how the rent-a-cops react, Guaranteed, somewhere in America, some kid in his own school is going to be shot by his own rent-a-cop. That's what's going to happen. And it's going to be put down to, well, they antagonise the officer. Yeah, maybe the first time it happens, the cop gets, loses his job. Probably won't take his licence to carry his gun off him, but maybe get sacked from being a protector of the school because he shot one of the kids, That's the sort of thing that I see in the future, You put fucking armed cops, armed guards into schools with kids who torture teachers with their shit. You imagine the shit's going to happen with an armed guard when the kids start to fuck with them? Yeah, bad shit's going to fucking happen. And then you don't have to worry about the nutters coming to school with the guns. The nutter with the gun is already in the fucking school. You understand what I'm saying? That's where you're getting to. You're going to end up filling the schools with nutters with guns, being persecuted by little kids, teasing them. And after a year or two of being teased by little kids, some little kid's going to get his fucking face shot off. That's what's going to fucking happen. That's why you don't want armed fucking guards in the fucking school, you know what I mean? And how do you know how mentally stable any of these guards are? They might be mentally stable to be police officers patrolling a dangerous area in the city. They might be perfectly normal soldiers, because a lot of them probably will come back from Iraq and Iran and be employed as guards in schools if you go that way. But who's to say they don't flip out someday because of something says to them or something that happens, a car backfires, as I say, a kid sets off a firecracker at their ass, you know what I mean? And they spin around and fucking shoot somebody in the face, Who the fuck knows what you're fucking putting into your schools, man? Not a good fucking idea. That's why I say force the population to fucking de-arm, People keep saying it's a bad idea for all these people in Egypt and all these people in Libya to be running about with guns. We tried to get the guns back off the people in Iraq. We don't want to leave the population in Afghanistan with all these guns. We want to get the guns back half and leave them with a police force that's armed. Why can't you just do the same thing in America? You want to do this around the world, you won't do it in your own country. Take the guns off your population, leave the army, the air force, the navy, your fucking militia and your police force armed, do you know what I mean? And all this about why should we trust them? Well, they're your sons and daughters, aren't they? The army's your sons and daughters. The Navy's your sons and daughters. The Air Force is your sons and daughters. The militia is your sons and daughters and fathers and brothers, you know. The police force is exactly the same. It's your fathers, sons and daughters and brothers who you know, make up that. But it's not as if they brought in foreigners to be your police or to be your army, you know what I mean? So, but you don't trust even your own mothers, fathers, daughters and sons, you know what I mean? Your own brother, you don't trust him with a gun. Well, if you don't trust him with a gun working for the fucking federal agencies or your state agencies, how the fuck can you trust him living next door to you with a gun? When he hasn't sworn any fucking declaration to fucking defend and protect the fucking population. He's just there with a fucking arsehole in his basement. You trust that fucker, but you wouldn't trust your brother working as a police officer? It doesn't make sense to me, you know? Anyway, as I say, this is an addendum. Just think about what I'm saying, man. Less guns means less threat. I mean, that's what the whole war on drugs was all about. We've carried on for 60 fucking years, innit? Less drugs means less fucked up society. We just haven't managed to do that, you know what I mean? Basically because it's a bad idea. Because people taking drugs, most of them taking drugs, don't kill people. It's the people selling drugs that kill people. Right? And it's the same with your guns. People owning guns, you know, so bad. The NRA and the fucking gun manufacturers, they're the fuckers that kill people. Because they force upon you guns you don't need. Just like the fucking drug dealer forces upon the fucking people buying off them drugs they don't need or want either. We don't have pot. No, I don't have pot, but here, there's a pill. Here's a fucking crystal thing. If you crush it up and snort it or smoke it, it's brilliant. You know, next thing you know, they're running about crazy as fuck, killing people as well. It's the same with the NRA. Oh, I wanted there was a fucking 6-shooter. No. You have a Glock automatic. You have a 30 fucking, a 30 bullet fucking, you know, magazine for it as well. And by the way, if you looked at this Bushmaster thing, you'll go, oh, you'll love it. No, they never went to buy that shit. They went to buy a single bolt action fucking hunting rifle. They end up with a fucking AK-47 or some fucking shit. With a Bushmaster, you know what I mean? People didn't want that shit. The fucking NRA and the gun manufacturers foist them upon you. Take them out of society, go back to your normal shotgun, hunting rifle, your ordinary fucking, you know, 5 or 6 chambered fucking shooter, you know what I mean? Any of these Glocks, fucking extended magazines, you know what I mean? You don't need a fucking belt driven fucking, you know, 50 caliber machine gun normally mounted on a fucking helicopter, you know what I mean? For flying across fucking Vietnam shooting geeks, you know what I mean? Or gooks. You don't need that shit as a private citizen, you know? So let's not have these fuckers foist it on you and force you to think you've got to have it in order to be a man. You don't need a gun to be a man. You need some fucking brains, some sensibility and some fucking, you know, empathy for your neighbour. That makes you a man. Understanding when to give and when to take, that makes you a man. Anyway, so thank you fucking